Welcome to Reddit Echoes, where real-life stories from Reddit are told with authenticity, depth, and plenty of drama. In this world, not everything is perfect, like in the movies. There are stories that make you reflect painful conflicts that we've all experienced or witnessed. Today, I'll share with you emotional tales from love and betrayal to tough choices faced by those involved. Prepare yourself to experience the highs and lows, the hidden pains and moments that might make you laugh or even get angry. If you enjoyed genuine, dramatic, and heartfelt stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any videos from Reddit Echoes. Now let's begin our journey to explore stories as real as life itself. Story 1. When the Temu engagement ring sparked a storm in my relationship, I'm a 27-year-old woman, and what I'm about to share is a painful but very real experience about love and trust in a relationship. We had been together for almost 3 years. Everything seemed fine. I trusted him and was happy with him. One beautiful day, he suddenly got down on one knee and proposed. I was shocked because he didn't give me any warning, but I happily said yes. At first, when I saw the ring, I thought it was wonderful. It was an oval-shaped ring with sparkling stones around the band, and I loved it at first sight. My friends and family also praised it as elegant and very fitting for me. But then doubts began when I asked him if the stones were real diamonds. He didn't give a direct answer, just said, "I got a good deal, I'll check it again." Then by chance, I saw him using the Temu app on his phone, a shopping app known for very cheap prices. I asked him straight if he bought it on Temu, but he didn't answer, and instead asked, "Does it matter?" before going to sleep on the sofa. That night, I couldn't sleep, feeling confused. The next morning, I downloaded the app, searched, and to my surprise, the ring I had was exactly the same as one on the app, priced at only $38. The feeling of betrayal overwhelmed me, not because of the monetary value, but because of the lack of respect and honesty from him. We started having fierce arguments. He said I was overreacting, told me he'd replace the ring if it broke and that there was nothing wrong with it. He denied buying it from Temu and refused to have a straightforward conversation. I received messages warning me that rings from Temu have poor quality, may even harm health, and are connected to unethical labor practices. Things escalated when he went to his brother's house to avoid me. I admitted at times I might have been a bit harsh mentioning money, but I insisted I'm not dependent on him. I had earned more than him before, and recently he was the one with higher income. When I asked about our relationship and why he bought a cheap ring, he got angry, playing the victim and failing to explain properly. I felt abandoned and deeply hurt. Finally, he told me I could choose my own ring and buy it with my own money, saying everything was water under the bridge and didn't want to talk about it anymore. Even though he returned to normal, I still felt upset, suspicious, and unsure if I could continue marriage with someone like that. It reminded me of reality shows like Temptation Island, where cheaters forgive themselves but never apologize to those they hurt. I realized the ring wasn't just material. It symbolized respect, commitment, and love. His buying a cheap ring, his indifferent attitude, and lack of transparency made me feel undervalued and disrespected. I wondered whether to continue or let go. I read comments online. Some said I was too demanding, others thought I was unreasonable. But I believe I have the right to expect respect in a relationship. I feel lonely, but determined to stand up for myself and true happiness. My story may not be perfect, but I hope it helps people understand the complexities and silent pains in everyday love. Story 2. Discovering my wife is asexual, our marriage on the brink of collapse. I'm 34 years old and have been married for 4 years. At first, everything was wonderful. We were happy, sharing passionate, intimate moments like any other couple. I thought I was lucky to have a loving wife. But about a year and a half ago, things began to change. I noticed a clear difference in our relationship. What I missed most were the warm embraces, not about sex, but those passionate hugs and affectionate gestures. I tried to communicate, ask questions, and we even went to couples therapy, doing everything to keep the flame alive. We checked hormones, everything was normal, but the improvement only lasted briefly before things went back to how they were. I asked her if she still felt attracted to me, and she denied it. I asked if I did something wrong, she said no. Then one day, after a personal therapy session, she said something that hit me like a lightning bolt. I think I'm asexual. I didn't fully understand the term then, but it meant she no longer had sexual desire. I felt shattered and heartbroken beyond words. I asked her many questions trying to understand and accept. But inside, I knew sex was an important part of a marriage. We had long conversations, sometimes tense and tearful. She said she tried that the first times still had feelings, but later it felt forced and painful. I was deeply hurt, but didn't want to pressure her. I suggested divorce to free both of us, but she refused, promising to try and save the marriage. Just when it seemed like that would be the end, something else complicated everything. One day I came home and found her best friend, a 27-year-old woman, naked in our bedroom. I was stunned, unsure how to react. I asked my wife, and she said her friend came over because of me, and even suggested I could sleep with her anytime I want. I couldn't believe it, felt utterly betrayed and humiliated. From that day, I packed my things and moved to a hotel, avoiding the women in her family and ignoring their calls and complaints. Later, I learned she'd known she was asexual since age 16. Her family knew too. Her previous relationship ended for the same reason. She said I was the first person she'd been intimate with for so long, and that she tried her best to please me. We sat down and had a frank conversation. She apologized for hiding this and not valuing my needs. She even offered a post-nuptial agreement giving me full rights to keep everything, asking for no assets. But I still felt the marriage couldn't continue like this. We tried hormone therapy, saw sexual therapists, but our differences were too great. I was exhausted and unsure if we could ever reconcile. Over time, she fell into depression, even quit her job, and withdrew from family and friends. I feel heartbroken, but still hold on to hope. Now I'm facing a tough choice. Should I stay with her or end it for both our happiness? Story 3. The breakup and lesson from my princess girlfriend with a unique fashion style. I'm a 24-year-old guy, and I once had a colorful relationship with a 23-year-old girlfriend whom I thought had princess syndrome, not meaning she was spoiled or demanding, but that she had a very distinctive way of dressing and living. We met in college as just friends, but after she graduated, we started dating. At first, everything was great. She was beautiful, smart, and funny. But one thing I couldn't ignore was her style. Instead of simple clothes, she often wore long lace dresses that looked like they came straight out of a fairy tale or a princess cartoon. This drew a lot of attention when we went out, and many times I felt embarrassed or awkward when I saw people secretly taking photos of her. I once suggested she tone down the style a bit so people wouldn't stare so much, but she didn't get it, even thinking I didn't love her true self. Over time, she developed a pretty popular fashion blog with many followers. She spent hours every day posting photos, updating outfits, and even sewing clothes to sell on Etsy. I always tried to support her passion and interests, but sometimes I felt left behind because the attention she got was huge and so different from normal life. When she started a new job, I hoped she'd be more serious and dress more simply to earn respect from colleagues and her boss. But things didn't go as I expected. She kept her princess style and was even encouraged by new coworkers. I worried she wouldn't be taken seriously. I tried many ways to talk to her about changing a little so both of us would feel comfortable, but every conversation ended in silence or avoidance. One day she came to my place after work and said she wanted to talk seriously. I joked, "You're not here to break up, right?" And she looked at me with guilt. We talked about our differences and clearly saw we were on two different paths in life. She spoke more, I agreed, and we decided to break up peacefully. I was surprised because I didn't expect it to end so quickly. After the breakup, I still tried to keep in touch, but the discomfort remained, especially when I saw on social media she was getting a lot of attention from other guys. It bothered me, but I knew I had to accept and move on. 10 years later, I accidentally found her old account and realized I was still friends with her on social media. She had married a woman and was living happily on a farm. I also have my own family now with a wonderful wife and a little daughter. Through this experience, I learned that love and support are important, but everyone also needs space to express themselves in their own way. And most importantly, respect acceptance and unconditional love. Thank you for joining us on Reddit Echoes in today's video. Each story is a slice of life, a voice of ordinary people with extraordinary experiences. Maybe you see a part of yourself in these tales, questions about love, trust, and life-changing decisions. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like to support me in creating more authentic and captivating stories. And don't forget to share your feelings, thoughts, or even your own stories in the comments below. I'm eager to hear from the Reddit Echoes community. Until the next video, always remember every story has its own value and every voice deserves to be heard. See you next time. Next.